Okay, we are starting at the top of page 16. This is our last standard for this test. Okay, so this standard will come next week. We'll standard check on this standard, and then we'll get ready for the test. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is you need to know the definition of a y-intercept and an x-intercept. Okay, so the x-intercept is the point. The y-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. That's fine. Yep, that's fine. Okay, now we're going to put the y-axis because it has the letter y right on there, but I'm going to highlight that in green to match my green pen here. So this right here. So where does the line cross that axis? That's the y-intercept. Okay, so the only thing we are doing today is you have to be able to identify a y-intercept. Okay, so right there, here it is. Here is the y-intercept. It is that point right there. But we are going to identify that as a point. Okay, so it's going to be an x comma y point. So this is how far right to left did I go over, and then up. How far did I go up? That's the coordinates of this point. So this point did not go up, didn't go right or left any. So it's going to be 0, and that's actually going to go over here. So that's going to go right here, 0, comma, 1. Okay, I'm going to write a note right here that this will always be 0. That 0 right there, this first 0 will always be there in the y-intercept. So y-intercept always has an x value of 0. The y-intercept is 1. That means the y value of that point will be 1. The other one will be 0. Okay? Okay, now let's just do the x-intercept, which is just the opposite. I'm just going to write x instead of y. It is the point where the graph crosses the x-axis. Which I'll highlight that one here. So this dot right there, that is your x-intercept. Okay? Your x number, if you look at the graph where the x crosses, that x number is right there at 4. So in your point, the x number is going to be 4 and the other number is going to be 0. Okay, so that one will always be a 0. Okay, this is the only piece that we are doing today. It's just the x and the y-intercept and being able to identify them and give them coordinates on the from the actual graph. Okay, so find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So that's what we're doing here. So find the x-intercept, find the y-intercept. And then we'll do it one more time. Find the x-intercept, find the y-intercept. Okay, so pick an axis. So if I pick the x-axis because it says x-intercept first, okay, I'll slide this up so you can see it a little bit better. If I pick the x-intercept first, this is the x-axis, so slide along the x-axis until you hit the line. Right here, I hit the line at -2. So because that is your x number will be -2, and the other number is going to be 0. And I'm saying that very specifically on purpose because of what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Okay. Now the y-axis is not labeled, and I don't like that because this should be -1. So let's label that because they actually go by 0.5. So, sorry, +1. +1. It actually goes by 0.5, so let's not be tricked by that. So if I go along the y-axis, I hit this line at 1. So my y number is going to be 1. My x number is going to be 0. Okay, one more time. So I'm going to slide along the x-axis until I hit the line. So I'm going to hit the line here at -1. So the -1 goes in the x spot. 0 goes in the other spot. Same thing, slide along the y-axis until you run into the line. So I'm going to slide along the y-axis until I hit the line. There it is. And I hit the line at -2. So that goes in the y spot, and then 0 goes in the other spot. Okay? I'm saying that very specifically, again, because of what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Okay, so what you're going to do right now, that's it. That's all the farther we're going. But you're going to show me that you actually heard and understood what we just did. Okay, so you can come up here, you can put your binder away and grab one of these half sheets, and I just need that half sheet before you leave.